Well, hello everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of Cloud Foundry Weekly, episode 76, not 67. Sorry, we both we both have kids out there, and I'm sorry if I just triggered you emotionally, but hey, we're gonna move on from that. Keith is here with us today. How's it going, Keith?
Yeah, good. I just realized the starting music for this actually has good bass. I've just changed my AirPods to a newer gen, and wow, I didn't know the intro had actually deep bass. So that's something I
Well,
learned today.
you're welcome. I think this is just stock intro music from StreamYard that we very much spent a lot of time sourcing. And just went from there. So hey, I think I grabbed it from a previous episode and threw it into that intro in Canva, and then sealed it up as a video, and it's been around ever since.
Nice.
So I'll take
So
credit for that.
I see the thumbnail for this show is a pumpkin, so it means
Yeah.
either you like pumpkin pie or you like Halloween. Don't know.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
both.
I mean, I guess this is our early happy Halloween early because Halloween's tomorrow, but we're doing our show today. So this is our official, I guess, Halloween episode for CF Weekly this year. But yeah, I mean, it's that time. Temperatures are going down. We're getting a lot of rain now, and then of course, trick or treating with the kids and everything, candy and costumes, and I carving pumpkins last night always reminds me of how messy that is, and
Oh yeah.
it's just like, oh, the kids love it, but I'm like, these pumpkins, they make a lot of mess. But yeah,
And again, typically this year, again, we have awful weather. Well, here in Ireland at
Mhm.
the moment, it's quite stormy, so that's gonna be fun for the
Yeah.
kids. Like, and my kids, one of them, he didn't think through his costume maybe too well. He's going as
Mm.
Brat, so I don't know for those. It's a Fortnite character. He's a hot dog
Mm.
with sunglasses. And we've changed. It's daylight savings has already happened here in Europe, so it's dark now in the evening. So I don't know how he thought that one through.
Yeah.
Going out at nighttime with sunglasses, but yeah. And my other kid is Michael Myers, so he's going to going around scaring younger kids, I'm sure.
Oh, nice. So I mean, yeah, between that and the hot dog, I mean, you got your bases covered there for sure. So yeah, my son's gonna have a similar problem where he's going as like a fighter jet pilot, kind of Top Gun inspired or whatever.
With the aviators.
Yeah. Well, he's crafted himself like a helmet, right? And we got him these like visor type thing off like a thing to kind of craft into it, and he can kind of raise it up and down. It actually looks pretty legit, but he just kind of realized that he's not going to be able to put the visor down at night and see anything. So the sunglass scenario is pretty similar. So
I was a good few years ago. Okay, actually thinking back, maybe a long time ago. When the first Lego movie came out, I made the Lego Batman myself out of cardboard. I was
mm-hmm.
probably a solid week building that thing. Went to a Halloween costume party, realized I can't sit down.
I was gonna say, how's moving in that thing?
Yeah, it was a good costume, but it wasn't waterproof, clearly, and
Yeah.
I couldn't sit down. So I was very sore and tired
Yeah.
by the end of it.
He's
But
just
yeah.
standing over there because that's all he can do. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I guess everyone out there eat some candy and enjoy the festive times. And I guess do have the benefit that Halloween's going into a weekend, and so maybe you guys can get some time to relax and not be so crazy. But hey, I guess that's always the hopeful thing.
So not only we get to celebrate Halloween, we get to celebrate the latest release from Tanzu.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's why we're here, right? But yeah. So what was it? Today is Thursday, right? Tuesday, if I can do my days of the week, we released the Tanzu Platform 10.3 suite of products and services and features. So this is going to be starting our coverage of everything within Tanzu Platform 10.3 as best we can. It's a quite a large payload, so we're going to do multiple episodes because it would just be impossible to cover everything in one show. So today's theme,
it's huge.
Yeah, and we had an internal call, a 2-hour, we call it Tanzu Live, but it was a 2-hour show on Tuesday. And I was like, man, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I guess kudos to everyone in the Tanzu product and engineering teams.
And to our customers, like,
yes,
this is their feedback, and their feedback's been implemented, their feature requests. It's
yeah.
Yeah, keep the feedback coming.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack, and we could probably take this the rest of the year probably with how much content there is. So today we'll be focusing on the AI services tile, formerly known as the Gen AI tile on Tanzu platform. So we'll cover that and kind of give a deep dive. I feel like we probably won't be able to get even the deepest of dives because there are some advanced features that I know we have some folks working on some pretty very let's say very interesting and very like forward facing or not, like I can say cutting edge in the AI field of some of these new features that just released. So I think there's a few individuals that we'll pull on later too once we have a little bit more time to digest everything. But we can kind of go from there and see where our life takes us, right? On this journey of digesting Tanzu Platform 10.3. Okay. So should I guess I should bring up a screen, yeah? And like maybe we can do it. And another quick plug, Keith, I was using your Gen AI installer today, rebuilding some labs, and
oh, nice.
I really appreciate just being able to click through, very simple script, and get this foundation rebuilt. And I was able to pretty much use the same config I had from last time. I just kind of updated the script and added some variables in. Because I was actually changing the cluster that I was deploying to, and I just started rolling without issue. So
yeah, good.
I've got a foundation.
It's getting good feedback. A lot of people are using it for their labs, and it's like there are things I've recently threw in was just the ability to, because myself here don't have as much sunlight anymore, so my solar panels can't run my lab. So save power, like that. Just added start-stop functionality, so you can start and stop the whole platform, because people are feeding back again, like many others are running in home labs, just running like a proof of concept in a box that they can bring to customers and things like that. They want to be able to shut it down, spin it up. So that was a recent thing just from feedback. But,
very cool. And I think sorry, I didn't mean to bring that screen up yet, but I guess we can. I'll take it off. But I think that's a key thing here, especially as I know a lot of people in at least in our space that have home labs, they like to shut them down. If you're like me, I'm figuring out how to just take that 24/7, 365 heat consumption now and trying to take the heat generated from my lab and now heat my house. So I gotta do some ducts or something because it's starting to get to where the base temperature shuts down all the cooling, but like downstairs, it's a fire inside. So I got plenty of heat to transfer. I just got to pump it up upstairs somehow, right? Yeah, so being able to stop it and start it, I know like Findsy and some other folks would, I think would be really interested in be able to start and stop, so to speak. So yeah, we'll have to give that a go too. Maybe one day I'll get back to where I don't run a data center service, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I know we were joking. Did like Azure yesterday had a hiccup and AWS did, and we were kind of joking like, do they tap your shoulder? Can we fail over to your lab?
No, this is just the beauty of private cloud. Just not impacted by all these public cloud outages. Let me tell you.
That was one thing actually. We'll unpack everything that came with 10.3, but one of them is actually an appliance, kind of a little demo appliance. So while we have got this kind of unofficial installer I have up on GitHub, there's actually an appliance, an OVA. Deploy it. Like I don't know, 5 parameters you will have to put in: name, IP address, DNS, and you get to get a taste for Tanzu platform quite quickly. So we do have an appliance that I think it's going to be tomorrow, might be released.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw. So yeah, that's another good point to bring up too. So we'll have, if you want to do kind of a full installer, getting going on like kind of like the real deployment, so to speak, we got KeyScript. And if you just want a really quick, easy way to get going, just for like a kind of a POC type thing, everything's been condensed into this singular appliance that you could just spin up and give it a go. So that's kind of cool to see that as well. And another thing too, that's under covers is making use of Bosch Docker CPI, or I guess maybe from back in the day. So pretty interesting to see how that's been used to kind of get everything on a singular VM. Now it's going to be a bigger VM, right? Because we're putting a lot of stuff in there. So, it's nice to maybe even just I could see that like from a lab perspective of like, hey, you want to give somebody like a workshop, spin a VM up for them, give it there, and like let them do the thing, shut it down, like they're done, right? So maybe even like a Tanzu platform workshop as a service or something. You request a bunch of VMs to get spun up and like hand out their key, and then once it's done, shut them down to save resources, type of thing. So cool. And I'm sure once that gets officially released, we could probably give a deep dive on that as well. But we're still waiting on the official bits, so to speak. But yeah, so now I had a screen lined up here, and I'm going to be attempting to share my my Mac screen, so maybe the resolution isn't as crazy for people watching.
Good.
Yeah, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit here, and I will do my best to look forward to the camera, but my screen is off to the side, so if I'm looking off to the side, that's what I'm doing here. But I guess so. This is one of my test foundations. The only thing that's been upgraded right now is that AI services. So as we've seen before, this used to say Gen AI on Tanzu platform. It says AI services now. That's our new name for the AI tile. And if anything, it's just kind of more of a feature functionality set. I'll bring up another foundation here soon. There's some other name changes to talk about, so those will all kind of make sense as well. But I guess let's just click through some new features and functionality here while we get started here. So we're kind of giving you the behind the scenes of like what's changed within the tile. So from like an operations perspective, as you do those upgrades, things to keep in mind, keep an eye out for new features to potentially address and things like that. So, and I will say that this specific tile went from 10.2 to 10.3 without really any issue. So thanks again for the team for making a compatible release going forward. And I didn't, things had changed, and I didn't have to really change anything on my side either. So I really do appreciate that. First and foremost, when you look in the AI services tile, we have on-platform and off-platform models. So these collections or these groupings in the tile have been, I guess, condensed. We used to have, if we go into on-platform models, one thing you'll see is that the VMware private AI models are pulled into this on-platform models. So if you think about like really anything, these are the models that will run on top of VCF, whether they be Bosch deployed or private AI deployed. Those are kind of like the core models to be, on premises, VCF, etc. So that's kind of all one screen now, just to make it a little bit easier to consume and consolidate. But we still have our kind of our base configuration here where you can do Ollama or VLM models or private AI foundation models. You just have your very similar configuration that we've seen before many times. Nothing too crazy here, right? And then one thing too, on the side note, I've been doing a lot of testing with GPT OSS and VLM for performance reasons. So I have a config that seems to be working out pretty well. I'm going to probably release a quick little blog on that too. Just because I know some other folks have been asking for like what I'm using to run that and get that working. But as we start to get more into the performance scale of things, VLM's really, as Keith and I have demonstrated on previous shows, you'll probably want to definitely take a look into VLM for sure.
And that just reminded me, actually, just seeing Ollama on your screen, is the Ollama version is up to it was up to recent till maybe a few hours ago when Ollama released another one, but
yes,
got up to 12.6. So
I think so.
So a lot the more newer models. Is that the word?
Can
now run. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good point. The Ollama revved, VLM revved. So yeah, I mean, staying up to date on these different engines can be challenging because they release quite often. So again, kudos to the team for getting those up to date as well. And it like in true fashion, especially with Ollama, like we're current, we release, and like either that later that day or the next day they're like, oh, we just revved again. You're like, thanks guys, everyone was aligned for a brief point in time. So
the new Quen model, and what else came out? Yeah, there was a few
Was
new
it
models this
Mini
week.
Max or something?
Yeah.
Mini something. Yeah. Again, just yeah. I guess too, to point out, like, typically when a big model drops, the inference engines will do like a day 0 drop to support that too. So that's kind of what we saw for Llama 12.7, which just came out, I think, last night. But yeah, lots of in terms of the AI scene, models are generated. We have I think we're 3 or 4 for this week of new models released. I guess GPT OSS released safeguard versions to help help control or help developers have more policy and control about some of these models. So that's another thing it'd be really interesting exploring too. I just haven't even had, I had enough cycles to read the headline and a brief thing about what it's supposed to do, but no time to even attempt to evaluate it yet. All right, let's see here. What's next? Okay. So I guess I'll zoom in a little bit more. I zoomed in on the wrong screen. Off-platform models now are what we used to call integrations. So we had multiple integration pages, and we kind of collapsed that all into one. So you'll see here, like if you have OpenAI compatible models, like Sam Altman's, or third-party, like if you really wanted to, you could hook this up to, if you had like Ollama running on a PC, you could hook that up too. Well, or I've been really, really on the edge of buying an NVIDIA DGX Spark, because in theory we could just hook a DGX Spark up to here and test the whole flow of, if you have a full-blown NVIDIA DGX system or systems that cost millions of dollars in your data center, can you use Tanzu platform to talk to those? So in theory, yes, you can. I just haven't spent the $4,000 per DGX Spark yet to test that out. But maybe if the third-party models come out and they're a little bit cheaper, I think maybe I'll pick one up. But that's something that you could do to potentially integrate that as well. And then the rest of our public SaaS / public model providers are here as well, have been before. So that's all been kind of condensed here as well. So kind of simplified the different models. And I think a lot of that too is trying to make it clear of what's kind of on platform, what's within the data center, what's out of the platform, out of the data center type of thing, to make it easier to show what's going on there, right?
Yeah, definitely a better UX in this release. Yeah, than just the naming, the grouping. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was something else. I was just going it's a tiny thing, but it's just the dependency checks. Because before you had to have Postgres. You had to have Postgres in before you could do the tile. So you had to stage Postgres, apply it, then come back. It didn't have a dependency check to know I need that. Now I can just do it all in one go. So it even improves install time as well. Tiny thing, but just I think I fed that back a while back. It's nice to see things you feedback popping up.
Yeah. There's another one. I'm trying to find the release notes. There's one I wanted to bring up specifically too. So let's I'm going to pull up that. I got the release notes here. So let's go to here. Release notes. Let's see, read these. So, okay, yeah, we covered that. Rename. We will cover the policy tab here in a second. And let's see here. It was in maybe improvements. Where I was reading those. Maybe bug fixes, perhaps. Oh, yes, yeah, okay. So I think you're talking about your dependency issue right there.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Another thing too. This Bosch Cloud config. Oh man, thank you team. There's an issue if you're reinstalled this thing a bunch or do something like that. You could get a stale cloud config that would have to be deleted and just cleared out so you can get your config to go again. And it looks like they have done a lot of fixes here to prevent that from happening. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It's just a little tiny in fixes section, but very, very nice to see. So
it's good for, I suppose, the platform engineers. Yeah, developer, no difference. But for us, platform engineers, I suppose, it caught me a couple of times. Yeah, it was easy fixable once you know how. But that thing,
fixed. It's just more about when you're running pipelines and not necessarily we have probably the benefit of building and reinstalling and testing and rebuilding this platform probably some of the most out of everybody. So, any kind of bug or glitch around continual reinstallation or something over and over again, we'll probably see more than any customer would ever see. So yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's go. I think plan config is essentially the same. So we'll go back to plans after we look at policy. So another thing, another really big feature in 10.3 is the concept of policy. So you'll see that that it's its own separate tab now. Rate limits got pulled into policy. So we can do rate limits. If we go click and add, you make a rate limit. So the rate limit used to be at the bottom of a model, if I remember correctly. Now you basically you give it a model handle, or I think so. And
the handles are when you specify the model, you can give it a handle, like a persona.
This is that's right. There's a model handle. There's also a handle for the policy. So you can give a handle of, let's say, I don't know how many rate limits, and then quotas. So you could do something similar. I made a quota down here, but you could do whatever, like, I don't know, 10 limits, 10 requests per minute or something, or something like that. So request per minute rate limit or token per minute rate limit. So that's pretty cool if you wanted to have some type of control so that your backend infrastructure doesn't get overloaded if you're at scale. That's out there. We've got a quota out there of 10 requests per day. So quotas, pretty interesting. I think especially interesting too, if we're talking about any of these really. I mean, obviously useful for protecting the on-prem infrastructure if you're capacity constrained, or also if you are going to these SaaS provider models that are billed per token or per request, having the ability to have that virtual key exchange up front in the marketplace, and then having additional kind of protections in place so you don't exhaust your actual capacity. You can exhaust a virtual capacity up front before you run out of your actual cloud tokens, or your whatever you've negotiated per the actual model provider type of thing. So
I think we discussed on a previous show, it's scary how quick you can burn through tokens.
Oh yeah, very much
especially if you're doing iterative development or something like that, because it literally loads it back in again. And it's a good, like, we're trying to remember the show, we'll reference it back maybe in the notes, just to go and you showed some good sums of the cost of cloud tokens versus on-premises purchasing actually the hardware. You could buy your gear several times over within a year versus using cloud.
And I think even too, I was guessing that we probably get 2 or 3 million tokens an hour on a single developer. So at scale, we're talking about enterprise scale of hundreds or thousands of developers trying to use said token provider. The cost can be quite troublesome, let's just say. I don't know. You can buy those GPUs pretty quickly and pay them off at that rate, assuming you can actually source them. So nothing too crazy here. I'll delete this empty rate limit. I got that quota there. An additional thing too that these features are actually kind of currently in tech preview, or tech preview. But I think some of that too is that we want additional feedback in this space. But webhooks is essentially where if you wanted to add like a Microsoft Presidio or some kind of content safety, or really kind of anything that you could think of, you could have that in the workflow stream of the model. So any request is going to get parsed by, let's say the Microsoft Presidio service. If you configure it to, it does like data redaction and scrubbing, so you're not leaking PII or confidential data to models, that type of thing. So there's services like that, and I know there's some work being done about some custom, maybe skills or newer type of AI agentic features with some of these custom I guess webhooks or custom policies that you could build. So I think here really kind of opening up for people to kind of build their own thing and integrate that. So I think that's pretty interesting. I know a few former guests of the show, as I kind of hinted at earlier, are actively building out things that would kind of tie into these features. So I think when they have all their ducks in a row, we can probably bring them back and have them do a deep dive and show what they've built. So let's see what else we got. So we got that. Like that. Let me consult the release notes. Oh yeah, that's a new one. Yeah, let's check that out. Let's go to our infrastructure config. If I can click. All right, so let's see. I haven't looked at this. Yes. So a lot of people start out with CPUs on the platform because that's what they have, and they don't have GPUs. So in testing a while ago, and I think this will be especially pertinent if you're in a busier vSphere environment, you're going to have the ability to reserve all guest CPU or all guest memory on your VM config if you're deploying CPU workers. Well, I think it's actually really any VM type. So yeah, so I mean, I guess that's useful too, as well. But I mean, it's more useful in terms of CPU inferencing workers. So the big thing definitely is all guest memory is probably like the most beneficial you'll see in terms of just general stability of tokens per second response time, because that's where the speed comes from. So you don't necessarily, if you're going in a kind of like a shared vSphere environment and you're trying to run an LLM, you're going to want that particular VM, especially if we're doing CPU inference, to have access to all of its memory. You don't want any of that memory getting destaged or like deprioritized, right? I mean, I guess
isn't pretty.
Yeah. And I guess even now with the new what's it called, the NVMe tiering, right? Great feature, but you probably definitely don't want a LLM worker getting destaged to NVMe, right? Like you're gonna want that in guest memory, the full RAM, the real RAM, all the time, right? So that should help out some performance. All guest CPU. That's whenever you're doing CPU reservations, that's gonna be you need to be mindful, just because that's going to consume a lot of CPU resources. But if you do have the CPU capacity and you need the just kind of more reliable, more consistent performance, that's going to check in both those boxes. Will get you the most possible performant CPU VM you can get. So that's something to keep in mind there. And I guess too, I'll just take this time to remind folks too, when scaling this, and I'm in the process of working on another blog on this too, where I'm testing different CPU types. Don't go above your NUMA region. It will not give you better performance. So keep that in mind as well. Like, you kind of need to know the underlying host infrastructure pretty closely, especially, definitely, because we're talking GPUs, you're going to need to know that as well. But you don't want to, provision a, 40 core VM when you only have like a 16 physical core, or that wouldn't even be possible. You only have like a 20 physical core CPU. You want to stay within the 20 physical cores. You don't want to cross NUMA regions if you have a multi-socket box. And I guess potentially even if you have some of these newer chips where you have, I guess AMD EPYC has like multiple NUMA regions on a single chip. I don't even know what they're called. They're like sub dies or something, but I'm sure like Frank Denneman has a course on that somewhere.
Or if you want to delve into this world, look for Valentino, like on Explore, the content catalog for Explore, previous sessions. Valentino does amazing sessions on NUMA performance, and when you're performance troubleshooting, just what can be done with ESX top, I'm in there regularly, but I learned a lot of my stuff from Valentino. I'm sorry. Apologies if I'm getting your name wrong. But yeah, great content on just performance, NUMA. It's bigger is not always better, no matter what you hear.
And then also too, I guess while we're at it, CPU. If you have CPUs that have higher base clock speed, I think you're gonna have a better time. So if you do have a selection of CPUs, you want to try to get your latest generation out there, and higher clock speed is always better. And obviously, if you got systems with DDR5 memory, traditional server systems are probably going to perform a lot. The faster the RAM is, the better the inference type of thing as well. So you're going to keep an eye out like that. I guess a lot of customers I've worked with are starting to get some of these newer hosts with the Intel AMX extension set or like the newer epics. They haven't really paid attention to that. Really, they're just onboarding infrastructure. I'm like, like kind of just off in their vCenter, like, hey, did you know you actually had hosts that were like well optimized for this, but you're using your hosts that are like 6 years older. Like, could we maybe make a new AZ over there type of conversation? And I definitely keep an eye out for that as well. So I don't know. We kind of went on a very deep dive technically about CPU inference, but
I suppose there's something else there, like little tips and tricks on that would be more in the model side. But you know how many parallels you can run, always have it loaded, not for the timeout. Little tweaks.
Yeah, well, let's go there real quick because that we'll emphasize that as well. So, if we go to GPTOSS 20B, so that's probably one of the better models now you can run on CPU.
One of my favorites, absolutely.
Yeah, it performs quite well. It handles tools quite well. It's got the Apache 2 like everything's cool license. No need to worry about that. There's no secret like hidden clauses in the license. It comes from OpenAI, so like the folks who started it all. Like there's no in most cases there's no concern about its origin. So that's cool too. And it has a bigger brother, the 120B as well. If you got GPUs and you can get some really crazy results. But
the responses are very high quality. Like I used to use prior to this Mr. Nemo, I used most, but the speed and the quality of this is head and shoulders above for CPU. Yeah,
very much so. Yeah, and even if you have very limited GPU capacity, you could probably run this on like a single GPU. It's quite small. And it's a mixture of experts. So like, I think it's only 2 or 3 active billion parameters. So that's nice as well. So you're going to get even that bigger speed. So Keith, as you mentioned, let's do a quick review while we're here. And this is specifically for Ollama. This will apply CPU or GPU, but in the vein of the CPU performance. So keep alive -1. We want to do that. So like the model's always in memory, right? Ollama would destage the model. Over time that's there, so it stays in memory, so you don't have like a cold start call. Load timeouts there in case the model is like really big, not needed for here, but that's just the default. Number of parallel requests. Now if you're doing like if you have a lot of traffic coming in, you may want to start bumping this up, but this is just something to keep in mind where you could maybe keep this as default of 0 for CPU as well, where it'll kind of auto dynamically see how much context it can collect and how many parallel requests it processes. Usually defaults to like 4 or something, but you could tweak this number. It's just knowing that the bigger you make this number, the more system RAM it will consume. Typically that's not really a problem because you can usually afford that pretty easily. But just something to keep in mind. This is usually more useful when you're very much VRAM constrained and trying to fit everything into a single GPU deployment versus spilling over to system RAM with Ollama. Context length. This is the full context length. So that's another very useful thing about making the model smarter. And like when we're talking about tooling agentic use cases, you want this context length to be as high as possible, as high as you can support. And this is the full context length of this model. So you're going to get your best performance out of that. And you're going to, otherwise if you make it really small, it's too small. You'll have the model like forget what it's thinking about like all the time, that type of thing. And then let's see here, KV cache type. This does not matter for GPTOSS because it's like this new pre-quantized like MX FP4 or something type. Like just leave this default. It'll just be the default of what Ollama uses. You don't really need to change this. This is just how it's set. On other models, you would potentially tweak this to like change the size of the KV cache for sizing as well. And then you want to make sure enable flash attentions checked as well. Initially, that wasn't quite supported with GPTOSS, especially on CPU as well. But they've they've released all that, and that actually kind of re-swizzles, let's just say, or calibrates the system RAM to be more performant, or I guess system RAM or VRAM, to get better inference speed. So definitely have that checked as well. That should give you better performance. And I guess we can link to that too. I grabbed an earlier version of the model file from the Ollama library, and put it on my Hugging Face repo. There were some initial issues about like third-party GGUFs not working because GPTOSS Ollama versus Llama CPP differences. That still seems to be working pretty well, but if you need an offline resource, I'll put that in the show notes, where you can grab it as well if you just need to pull it from the Hugging Face my repo. Otherwise, a lot of people can't pull directly from the Ollama library. And I got a template. The template's out there as well on the repo. One thing too, if you look, there's I set in here buried in this model config, there is a parameter to enable all 100% GPU cores. If you're using CPU, you want to take that line out. It's like num GPU equals 100. I'll update that to make sure I maybe take that out, or make a GPU or CPU template version. This is new. I don't know what this box is. Model extra properties. This is new for 10.3. Key value. So maybe this is extra properties to pass to the Ollama. I'll have to try it out. Maybe
non-OpenAI parameters.
Oh, so like base Ollama, like environment variables and things, you think?
Or I don't know. All I know is it was non-OpenAI parameters. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, there new boxes popping up. I'm not even not even aware of it yet. So yeah, these are very fresh bits. We could always spend a whole lot more time talking about them. But yeah, so that's. Let's see. Yeah, and usually, I guess we'll go just to really close this topic. We'll go back to infra config and we'll look at what we're dealing with here. So I'm using the 2x CPU type. I think it was CPU, or either one of these. But essentially, I have a bunch of hosts that have 14 or 18 core physical cores. So I've capped that at 14 just to make sure I don't go over that. Actually, I have 14, 16, and 18 cores. Yeah, that's kind of what I've got set there. You should easily be able to run GPTOSS 20B and 32 gigs of RAM and have a bunch of free room, because you should probably only take like 18 to 19 gigs once you're loaded all the context and such. But yeah, 14 core, 32 gigs, it should get you going. And yeah, and if you're having maybe some slowness, you can give some of these a try to see what you can get going, and just test and see what you have in your infra. Okay, I think we covered a lot of the base functionality in OpsMan. What else we're talking here? Anything else that we can cover?
So yeah, we did the plan policy. I suppose observability, but we haven't spun it up here now. Before we provided a kind of a config to see it in HealthWatch. Mm-hmm. Now it's part of Hub out of the box.
We'll see. This Hub install finished when we were talking. I don't have the platform services controller hooked up to it yet. So I guess, yeah, that may have to be a next time show, because we're actually 43 minutes into this episode already. I'm surprised. We may need like 200 episodes to cover everything in 10.3. But while we're here, you may see another name, sort of from a blast from the past. But
yeah, for me anyway.
Yeah, small footprint elastic application runtime. So the TPCF tile, formerly the PAS tile or TAS tile, or formerly the elastic runtime tile, is now the the elastic application runtime tile, and this is the small footprint version of it. So new name for that as well. AI services. I guess this is now we're going to go to our public service announcement functionality of this episode. If you're going in the Broadcom support portal and you're searching for your old names and you're not finding any of the bits, don't panic. It's just there's a lot of new names out there. So if you're looking for TPCF, Cloud Foundry bits, look for Elastic App Runtime. That's going to get you there. If you're looking for Gen AI, look for AI services. Hub's
all the docs have been updated, so all the docs will point to the latest release docs and the previous release docs will all point to the new names for you. If you want a cheat sheet, I think there's a KB published as well.
Oh yeah, that's I should find that and we should reference that. So yeah, even here, I guess just going to the docs here would probably be most useful, right? One thing we could probably show a Foundation Core appliance, I think. So the Elastic App Runtime. Let's go here. So another thing too here. While we finish this out, to kind of tease some of the other great things in the Tanzu platform is that Ops Manager has a new name, right? So Ops Manager will now be henceforth named Foundation Core. And when you deploy an Ops Manager, or I guess it's gonna take me a while to not say Ops Manager. It's been well over a decade ingrained in my soul, and I will probably always call it Ops Manager, just like I always called Twitter. But anyway, you can switch to this new beta experience, and you kind of look at Foundation Core, and it's gonna give me a little notification that my license is gonna expire soon, so I should probably update that too. But this is kind of a quick view, or kind of the intro view of what Foundation Core is going to look like, what you can see. This is, I think, just a very kind of cusp of that rolling out. But what you kind of see here is kind of really an embedded health watch, if this is what it looks like to me, right? So you get the new Ops Manager, I guess, essentially, is going to come up with, you'll see this actually first when you bootstrap Ops Manager. And you have the ability to switch to the classic experience, because it's not, it's still this side is still kind of in tech preview. We're still kind of working out some of the kinks here, but you have your classic Opsman experience to go back to if you need it, and you will need it in some cases. It's still, we don't have all the functionality here yet, but you're starting to see that hub ops, the kind of that next generation health watch view, kind of just plumb directly into here. For if you need your point in time health watch for a single foundation, you just go to your Foundation Core, aka Opsman, and you can get going from here. So yeah, another thing too, we're seeing the Bosch health of the Bosch director. Love to see persistent disk utilization, because I usually fill my Bosch director up out of space and have to expand it. Things of that nature.
It's really bring the same look and feel across the whole portfolio.
Yes, yeah. So we're getting that common UI flow, I guess.
Yeah,
as we see. And with Diego,
there's a little trick, Nick. I don't know if you know it. If you go back to Opsman,
we'll go back to the classic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then go to the top. Well, we have a box here covering, but the top right, when you click your profile, your name, and you go to advanced settings. Advanced settings down the bottom.
Okay.
You can disable it. So.
I thought you were going to tell me to delete it, and I was like, "Well, that's rude."
No, it can be disabled just for those who, you're moving to this, you have operation team, and you're going, no, we are not ready yet for this, or it doesn't have everything we need. We don't want people wasting cycles in there, making changes in there. You can disable it.
Well, that is I did not know about that. That's an Easter egg right there. So hey, yeah, if you're having issues, you need to remove the old or disable the old UI for a bit. There you go. That's another tip for sure. One other thing too, I was going to show, which I guess let's see, maybe we'll go back to the beta experience. I was thinking I wanted to show. Manage, yeah, duh. I'm like this is we're now it's just starting to see some of the core capabilities of Opsman. So tile management is in here as well now, and you have certificates as well. Let's see here. I think I got some certs coming up soon. So yeah, it's going to show me certs as well. And I think these were actually grouped differently as well, where if I remember correctly, you had the ability to, maybe that was just only in proper hub, but you're seeing that the status of all my certs, when I need to rotate them, how I need to rotate them. By the way, if you haven't started using some of these features, I have some long-lived foundations, and I've been coming up on the cert rotation time. The non-configurable leaf certificate rotation on apply changes, fantastic. The Bosch DNAS NATs. There's a to do a CA rotation on stem cell changes. Fantastic. I rotated like hundreds of certs that way, but across both those features with just an apply changes. So
that was about 2 releases ago, I think.
Yeah. Those have been rolling out for quite a time, but I know a lot of people.
It's more feature rich now. Before you could do nearly all, but I was still doing some manually.
Now, every now and then you might find one or two that a few of the service tiles, like I have some certs on specifically on Spring Cloud services that still need to be manually fleshed out. So I'm going to have to do that. But oh man, it's made the certificate lifestyle a lot better to deal with. Let's just say, and really, no one really likes dealing with certs, right? It's just something that we have to deal with. And then changes too. So you're going to see the apply changes. You know what's going on here. We see anything staged or that type of stuff too. So yeah, we're starting to see a lot of cool things here. Could we do errands? What happens? Yeah. Do errands as well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things happening here. You can see explore metrics. There's going to be we'll have to do maybe multiple shows and all the metrics and alerting. I think we're going to have to call Ray back on the show just to kind of cover everything within Hub, not alone everything within the AI observability, which we haven't even covered yet in 15 minutes in. So yeah, that's a little bit of I guess just a tease to watch the next episodes, see where we go, because there's a lot to cover here. But I think we kind of gave a pretty good view, or at least let's say entry level view of the AI services tile and some of the name changes out there. So again, if you're having problems, look at the docs. Just keep in mind the name changes, and then we'll have to find that KB if that's out there to help out as well. Keith, you got anything else for the audience today? Any other? No, I guess from what you saw on Tuesday from Tanzu Live, what was like one thing that you're most excited about? What you want to see? I think featured on an upcoming episode. How about that? I'll throw a big question at you.
I think is all Hub is really becoming, I suppose, the true global control plane of cross-foundation management and, as always, metrics, observability, just bringing it all together and being more polished. It's just a better experience. Like we've done it years. We've been doing it a long time, managing multiple foundations. Just making, I suppose, life a bit easier for the PEs. Like, again, it doesn't take many to actually run Tanzu platform. That's a plus, but it's even making their lives even easier. I think of bringing everything together. The marketplace, again.
Oh, yeah, services.
Yeah, just there's a lot of, I think a lot of things it's just we've had, but bringing them together into one place, I think is nice to see.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, we all have colleagues who roll in and roll into teams and roll off teams, and you have to onboard them to things like it's like anything. Welcome to the company. Okay, if you want to do this, you have to go there. If you want that, you have to go there. If you want that, it's onboarding someone. It takes time. This is going to make even onboarding a new member to the team a lot easier, because literally they have one place to go for a lot of things. So I like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think too, we'll have to bring, I'm like, in mental head, I'm like, we need an episode of this, the whole services, like vending or services marketplace, like publishing your own services within the marketplace. I think we're going to get to a point where you have the Hub marketplace can like broker to multiple foundations. We're getting to like multi-foundation services type stuff. Like, oh man, it'd been nice. It would have been nice to have that a long time ago, if you know what I'm saying. So some really cool features.
Yeah, another one, I suppose, is, well, you and me have come from Concourse. We use Concourse in our environment, in our customer environments previously, or the platform automation toolkit. I suppose something else, again, within the tool is you can roll out foundations to different lines of business if you want to, right? Like a click, I want to vend out a separate foundation for them and sized appropriately for them. So again, it existed, but it's now part of one tool that can do it. Again, back to bring everything to one place.
Yeah, and then even the foundation groups have gotten enhancements, and I think there's even the ability to deploy to there's so much to unpack here, like the hub orgs and spaces where you could deploy across an app to, like, let's say a hub space, or I think I'm saying that right, and then it'll like smartly figure out if you have multiple foundations in a foundation group, what foundation has the most free capacity, and push the app that way, things like that too. So we'll start to see come out and check, see things, what we can do with that as well. So
thanks. Yeah, making things more accessible out of the box, where we did for customers, I suppose, bespoke or manually, you could have said. It's just making things more accessible and easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess with that to unpack, let us know what you'd like to see next, or but we'll, I think we'll have a very probably have a whole dedicated playlist on 10.3, and probably future large releases, because there's a whole lot to unpack in here, and I think it's going to be the best way to keep all the content in order. But a lot of more to come on 10.3. Any other closing thoughts, Keith, that you want to mention?
No, I'm excited. Like, it's running in my lab now. I'm excited to just dig in and find more interesting things, like, oh, I can do that a lot easier now, and then we can bring it back and show here little things we've worked on, or pains we've had prior that are now fixed in this release.
Yeah, and I had to go off screen to get the like and subscribe pillow, because I don't know, I keep putting it off screen. But yeah, if you like what we saw here and you want to see more of Tanzu Platform 10.3, you should like and subscribe, get notified when our next episode is scheduled. We typically try to do Thursdays, but every now and then it's Friday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or any day of the week. But yeah, that being said, Keith, it's been great having you here. I'll be looking forward to some Halloween fun this weekend and tomorrow. But I guess without further ado, we could probably sign off. What do you think?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. See ya. Bye.
Bye.